What is going on, everybody? It is Luca here, back with a Raptors post-game video. What a huge win for the Toronto Raptors. They get it done. I mean, I did not see this one coming, guys. I'm not too sure how many of you saw this one coming, but the Toronto Raptors absolutely destroyed and outplayed the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. Do me a solid, everybody. Hit a like on the video. It helps at a ton. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to get into this, and then I'm going to take some of your questions. But a night after looking lifeless against the Portland Trailblazers on Monday, so much talk was about how the Raptors were going to respond, how they were going to look coming into this game. And the Raptors absolutely blew the brakes off the Bucks from the opening quarter and on. This was a no doubt about it. I mean, every time it looked like the Bucks were going to slowly get back into this game, maybe make a run, the Raptors had an answer each and every time. As you look at the Raptors starters in this one, they absolutely delivered. As all 5 Raptors starters finished this game in double figures, with Siakam, Barnes, and Schroeder finishing with 20 points apiece. As the Raptors were clicking on all cylinders offensively, unlike Monday, their defense was stifling, holding the Bucks to just 46% from the field, 38% from 3. Their rebounding was solid. They out-rebounded the Bucks by 21. Their assist number was high. Playmaking, ball movement, once again, was phenomenal. 35-19 in assists. You can thank Dennis Schroeder, who once again has a double-digit performance in assists for the Raptors. And the Raptors were just dominating this one on both sides. 66 points in the paint. The Raptors able to blow out the Bucks despite the discrepancy at the free throw line, as the Bucks took 38 free throws to the Raptors 14. This was truly a remarkable performance by the Toronto Raptors. And you just hope, as a Raptors fan, that we get more games like this. I mean, this one was fun. It really was. As I am going to share my screen now so we can look at the box score and basically look at this one together, because, as I said, the Raptors were phenomenal when it came down to it. I mean, this was a game that they really showed us the potential of how good they can be. You know what I mean? Like, the Raptors, they played awful offense. They already had, negativity coming their way. Obviously, I have been very critical of the team, and I was looking at this as being a disaster because they dropped the game to Portland. And then obviously you have this tough stretch of games. But to pick up the win like they did tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything more. As let's take a look here. And oh, okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Now I'm sharing my screen. Now I thought I wasn't sharing my screen, but hit a like, guys, subscribe to the channel. Now I'm sharing my screen. So you look at it, guys. I mean, let's start from the top here. Pascal Siakam, I know I've been very critical of his play, but you got to give him a ton of credit. I mean, Pascal Siakam, he came to play. He hit his threes. He was 5 of 8 from downtown. I mean, that is amazing to see. He was 9 of 13 from the field. Siakam had 26 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. And you need Siakam and Barnes to be this dynamic duo consistently. Because if Barnes and Siakam can both eat and have good games together, they're going to be a tough team to beat. Siakam was a plus 22. OG Anunoby was a plus 16. He had 5 personal fouls. Of course, he was trying to guard Giannis. I thought he did an excellent job when it came to slowing down Giannis. I mean, Giannis, just to go up here, he was a non-factor, guys. He had 16 points, 5 of 11 from the field. He did most of his damage at the free throw line. I'm going to say it. I think people overhype Giannis. People who think Giannis is the best player in the NBA, I don't know what you're watching, because clearly this guy doesn't have a bag. And he does benefit from the whistle, as he did get to the free throw line, or else Giannis would have had an even worse game. So you got to credit OG Anunoby, man. His defense was great in this one. He picks up the 5 personal, still able to chip in with 16 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He was perfect from the field. OG Anunoby, folks, 7 of 7 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. This was just a great performance that is obviously going to get lost with some of these other bigger performances that happened tonight. But you got to credit OG Anunoby. Then you look at Scotty Barnes. He looks like a legit star. I had a funny meme on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Go check it out. I mean, this was a night where Scotty Barnes outplayed Giannis. He had a little bully ball with Giannis as he's like, get out of the way. That was a grown man's move that Barnes made on Giannis. And Scotty Barnes had 21 points, 12 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, 5 assists, plus 14, 8 of 16 from the field, 4 of 6 from deep. Barnes continues to hit the ball, hit the shot with consistency from outside, from inside, and he just looks even more confident as these games continue on here. I mean, Scotty Barnes looks the part, and it is great to see his growth, his development, because every time we see Scotty Barnes play this season, it looks like he's unlocking a new asset of his game, a new facet of his game, I should say, and just, showing us a little bit more. So Scotty Barnes continues to blossom right before our eyes. He hit a big time 3 in this one going into the 4th quarter, which extended the lead, I believe, to 16. If Scotty Barnes doesn't hit that 3, the Milwaukee Bucks, who outscored the Raptors in that 3rd quarter, have life in the 4th quarter. Barnes hits that 3 and puts the momentum back in favor of the Raptors. And that was just a theme tonight, where every time it looked like Milwaukee was knocking on the door, for as bad as they played, it looked like they had a run in them, but that run never came. The Raptors, led by as many as 27, the lead kept fluctuating. I think they got it, the Bucks, down to 13, like I said, but the Raptors bent, but they did not break. And you got to credit key shot making as being the reason why. Scotty Barnes, a part of that. As Jakob Poeltl, you got to give him his flowers. He struggled in that game against the Blazers, had a solid double-double, 14 points, 11 rebounds, very efficient, 7 of 10, was the beneficiary on a lot of the Dennis Schroeder dimes early. He had 4 block shots. I mean, he was just menacing inside. And then Dennis Schroeder, 24 points, 11 assists, continues to rack up the assists, 9 of 13 from the field, 2 of 4 from deep. He was absolutely cooking Dame every single time he could, plus 21. And I said it this offseason, guys, that Dennis Schroeder was going to be the steal of the offseason. On my personal channel, I talked so highly about Schroeder, and I said that Dennis Schroeder was going to make Raptors fans quickly forget about Fred VanVleet. We are 4 games into the season. 5 games, pardon me. And Dennis Schroeder has looked the part. What I love about Schroeder is that he's playing like a true point guard. He's getting his teammates involved. He's being able to hit his shots, hit that 3 ball, an area that he's been notorious in terms of struggling from. Dennis Schroeder is setting the table up for his teammates, which is what you want to see. And in a game like tonight, knowing that defensively Damian Lillard ain't special, he brought it to Dame. And you got to love that. Dennis Schroeder is not backing down from anybody. He's going to bring his A game every single night, give you 110% of his efforts every single night. And he has just done a phenomenal job for the Raptors. The step down from Fred to Schroeder hasn't even been a step down. It has been even keel, and you can argue even an upgrade, because Dennis Schroeder is playing a hell of a lot better in terms of facilitating with this Raptors team than Fred VanVleet did. I know this is a very small sample size, but look at what Schroeder has done. I think there's like 1 game that he hasn't had double-digit assists. Like, he is filling it up. He is getting everybody involved. So the Raptors starters, they got off to such a great start. You could tell they were pissed about Monday, laser focused. I don't know if it was about them going up against a Bucks team that was very much heavily favored against them, but something was just different in this one. The Raptors came to play. They did not give an inch. and they just kept coming. 56% from the field, 39% from three. Their defense really impressed me. I mean, Damian Lillard, he did not have a Damian Lillard-esque performance. He was held to 4 of 9 from the field, 15 points. Giannis was a non-factor. Like I said, did most of his damage at the free throw line. So anytime you allow the Bucks leading scorer to be Beasley, who had 20 on 7 3-pointers made or 6 3-pointers made, that is a win for your defense. And the Raptors did exactly that. And again, just some other stats, just to repeat myself here. The rebounding impressed me. The assist discrepancy. Raptors had 7 steals. They did turn the ball over high, but 18 turnovers for the Raptors, and they still were able to hold their own. 66 points in the paint. You got to credit Pirtle early. And the Raptors' largest lead was 27. The Milwaukee Bucks never led in this game, guys. The Milwaukee Bucks never led in this game. That is just unbelievable. Very, very solid performance by the Raptors. Hit a like if you are watching this right now. We got 15 in the chat. Let me know your comments, guys. I will pop up any questions or comments you have in the live stream. You can let me know in the live chat. But just to go on a little bit here, that's the starters. I want to talk about the bench now. So the bench, they did get some nice contributions. And most notably, I'm going to talk about Otto Porter Jr., who we finally saw in this one. Otto Porter Jr., can we see more of him, please? 6 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, plus 11, 3 rebounds, and just does so many of the little things wisely. We saw it, whether it was orchestrating plays, getting a key rebound, hitting a shot. Otto Porter Jr. is a veteran. He's a 3-and-D hard-nosed guy who knows how to win. He was a key championship piece with the Golden State Warriors in their championship year. This dude knows how to play. And if Otto Porter Jr. is healthy, he is going to be a real weapon for the second unit because he plays the game at a high level. He's been around. He is a solid vet who the Raptors can lean on. So I'm finally glad we saw Otto Porter Jr. And the biggest takeaway from the bench is that Otto Porter Jr. comes in. McDaniels, who did not register a point through the first 4 Raptor games, did not see any minutes tonight. And I thought that was the right call. McDaniels has not been playing well, and you got to get Otto Porter Jr. in the second unit, which is something I've been preaching to the choir. And we finally saw Otto Porter Jr. come through tonight. So he was great. Gary Trent Jr. struggled again. A little bit concerning with Gary Trent Jr., not going to lie, that he's not getting that shot to fall. 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, 8 points. And then Grady Dick, he took 10 shots tonight, played 21 minutes, 2 of 10, 1 of 8. He was a -3 tonight, only 5 points. So those guys did struggle from shooting the basketball. Boucher, 6 points, 5 rebounds in 13 minutes. And Malachi Flynn was a -2 in 19 minutes. So the bench could have been better, but on a night where your starters are thriving as much as they were, you can get away with this. And the Raptors got away with it tonight. Their bench wasn't spectacular. It did just enough. But my main takeaway from the bench is definitely play Otto Porter Jr. a lot more. You got to give him more minutes. So Otto Porter Jr., hopefully he can become a staple of the second unit. And I think he will. McDaniels might have just lost his rotation spot with how poorly he started the season. And Otto Porter Jr. in his first appearance of the season from off the bench, like I said, solid. 6 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, a plus 11. He did have 3 personal fouls. But Otto Porter Jr., you can plug him into lineups when you have Siakam, Barnes. And the bench is going to have to be crucial. The bench is going to have to step it up because they are going to be called upon more times than not. And when you're not in games where you have the benefit of leading throughout like tonight, you're going to need that second unit to play well. And again, there was a point of this game, the third quarter, before Barnes made that big 3 to give the Raptors a big 16-point lead going to the fourth. That second unit kind of struggled when you had guys like Malachi, Grady Dick in there, Boucher. So second unit is going to have to step it up if the Raptors want to alleviate the pressure from their starters, because the starters are not going to have too many nights. Well, hopefully they do, but you would think they're not going to have too many nights like tonight where they get to sit for the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter because the game's out of hand. So overall, though, what a win. Amazing. I mean, no other way to put it. The Toronto Raptors absolutely delivered. They did not give up an inch. And whatever it was, a switch just went off. It's like you hope this isn't the case where one night you see the Raptors stinking up the joint against a team that they should blow out by 20, and then they put up a fight against a contender, because you want to see more consistency with that. But this was very refreshing to see, because I know the Bucks, you can say, Luka, they're still only in game 4. There's a lot of adjusting from them, new head coach, new personnel. They still have a talent discrepancy when they go up against a lot of teams, tonight included. I mean, the Bucks have a lot of talent. So the fact that the Raptors did that against them shows you that the Raptors have potential and they have a chance of being a team that can, be a spoiler and be a team like this that can disrupt things, because it's going to take time for Milwaukee to get it going. The Celtics obviously look like the cream of the crop. We don't know how Philadelphia is going to look now after trading James Harden. There's going to be an opportunity for a team like the Raptors in a very bunched up East to maybe, make some ground and move up the standings. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself. It is one game, but this was very, very refreshing to see that the Raptors, after Monday's debacle, completely flipped the switch, changed the narrative, and came into this game with a purpose. And they delivered in every single aspect of this game. So I cannot be more proud of the performance tonight. And you just hope that you see this a lot more, because I will say this. The Raptors' issue hasn't been starting games. Their issues have been stagnant offense, stagnant half-court offense, which looked a lot better tonight, scoring droughts, which they fortunately did not have tonight, turnovers, which were very high tonight, but they overcame, and bench play. I did a video on this the other day of things that the Raptors need to fix. If they play a game that resembles tonight, and you keep that turnover number down, and the bench gives you a little bit more, this is going to be a tough team to beat. Because for as bad as the Raptors were in those first couple of games, especially in that 3-game losing streak, on offense, their defense actually showed promise, and they actually had good numbers to back them up. It's this offense that needs to deliver, that needs to get going. Because the defense, more times than not, is going to give you a good performance, a good enough performance to keep you in the game. But if this offense can click, continue to get better, and the Raptors have consistent shooting nights like they did tonight, getting 56% from the field, closer to 40 plus in the 3-point department. I mean, this was a team in the Raptors. They only got to the line 14 times. So that tells you how well they were shooting the basketball. The Raptors are going to be in a lot of games and win a lot of games if their offense can match the defensive output. So you just hope that with more time under Darko, under this new regime, this offense gets more comfortable, this offense clicks. And what is an interesting point that was actually brought up on the broadcast is the Raptors have a back-to-back. So tomorrow night, obviously going to be tough going to Philly. But then after that, the Raptors are going to have some days in between games leading into next week where they can get the rhythm in sync, where they can get the little things worked out, get guys familiar with the offense, and hopefully you can have more nights like this. So this was just phenomenal. I'm going to get to comments in just a second. Again, let me know your thoughts, guys. Hit a like, subscribe to the channel. Raptors beat the Bucks 130-111. And they will take on the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow night in Philly. So, I mean, let's see if the Raptors can continue to bring their A game. All right, let's get some comments in here. Rain says, go sports. Let's see here. Crucial Fact says, it's amazing what threes can do to the game. Now I'm worried about tomorrow because history says when we hit this swell, we can't buy a bucket in the next game. And that is very, very true. And that is something that I'm looking forward to, Crucial Facts, because I said this a moment ago. What kind of season is this going to be, right? Let me just stop sharing this. What kind of season is this going to be? Is this going to be a season where the Raptors give us more of tonight moving forward? Or is this going to be a season where, yeah, like you said, the Raptors, they're going to have a good, terrific shooting night, feel good game, and then all of a sudden they're going to, what the bed on the very next night? We're going to see this. Literally, we're going to see this because it's actually, I'm going to say that this is a blessing in disguise. The back-to-back sucks, but you almost want to see the back-to-back coming off of a game like this where the Raptors beat a title contender, beat a team that was heavily favored in the Milwaukee Bucks, and now they got to turn it around, let the emotions settle down, celebrate it for the next couple hours, but then get ready for Philly in less than 24 hours because you're getting on that plane to go to Philly. And the thing is, this is not like it's a back-to-back where you're at home again. You're on the road tomorrow night. So we're going to learn a lot about this team early, about how they respond coming off the emotional high of winning the game and then going into a hostile environment in Philly. Because if the Raptors can still bring that intensity, still keep up this type of play in Philadelphia after a night like tonight, man, oh man, am I ever impressed. And a lot of people are going to be expecting the drop-off, expecting the Raptors to lay an egg. But I'm telling you, this is a chance for the Raptors to make a statement and prove people wrong who think they are going to lay an egg and come out with the same type of intensity and effort in Philly. So we'll see how this game goes. But I like this back-to-back. I think it's going to say a lot about this team, especially going up against another credible opponent, formidable opponent in the Philadelphia 76ers. Because, man, if you beat the Bucks and the Sixers in a 48-hour span, that is going to just do wonders for this team, especially since you're in the middle of a tough stretch. Because the Raptors tonight have the Bucks. They beat them. They have the Sixers tomorrow. Then they have Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs who look good on Sunday. Then they have the Mavs next Wednesday, and then they have the Boston Celtics, which will actually be the Raptors' first game of the tournament. So the in-season cup. I was trying to remember what it was called. So there's gonna be tomorrow's gonna be interesting to say the least. But guys, let me know if you have any more questions, comments. Don't be shy. I've got 20 people in the chat. Hit a like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. I'll pop it up here on the screen. If you recognize me from my personal channel, Luca Rosano, I will be doing all Raptors post games on this channel, the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. So do me a solid, hit a like, subscribe, help us get to 1K on this channel. It would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. And we're going to continue on here with the Raptors post-game show. As Crucial Facts says, you're correct. Otto has to play tomorrow. Also, I love the fact that Darko isn't afraid to play his bench. Yeah, and that's the biggest difference that we've seen, right, from Darko compared to Nick Nurse, is that Darko hasn't lost faith in his bench. How many times did we see it in the Nick Nurse era where a player would have a bad stretch of games and then all of a sudden he wouldn't see action for many weeks to come? I mean, let's call it for what it is. If Nick Nurse is still coaching this team, Malachi Flynn, number one, isn't seeing a single minute to begin this season. But if he somehow was blessed enough to see as much playing time as he has, and he hasn't played as well as he has, Nick Nurse would have literally cut him out of this rotation until the very end. Like, Malachi would not have seen another minute the rest of the season. But to your point, Darko, he is going with these guys. Gary Trent Jr., Grady Dick have not shot the ball particularly well, but he's still letting Gary Trent Jr. log 23 minutes. Grady Dick, which I really like, that we thought we weren't going to see Grady Dick in the rotation. Darko has a lot of faith in him, a lot of trust in him. Grady Dick has logged 21 minutes. He continues to get a boatload of minutes, even though he's not shooting the ball well. And then Malachi Flynn somehow continues to get close to 20 minutes a night with him not playing well. So that just stems from the belief that Darko has in his team, the belief in the bench, and the importance of giving starters rest times when they need it. And again, you hope that Gary Trent Jr. can get it going. You hope that Otto Porter Jr. can be consistent with what he showed us tonight and give you a little bit more offense. And tomorrow night is going to be a perfect stage for this bench to have a get it right game because your starters, they played well. All starters logging close to 30 minutes each. Siakam had 33 minutes. Tomorrow night, they're going to be tired. They might not be, ready to go 100%. So you need the bench to step in and give you some big minutes tomorrow night. So tomorrow night is a perfect get it right game for this bench. And hopefully a guy like Gary Trent Jr. can have a big game. Otto Porter Jr. And, you get Boucher and Grady Dick. These shots got to start falling for Dick. The thing is, like, Grady Dick, I've loved what he's given you in terms of, like, everything else, his hustle, him cutting. Defensively, obviously, he needs some work. But those shots, he's had good looks, and he was knocking them down all day, every day at Kansas. Obviously, the NBA is a completely different stage for him. But I truly believe that Grady Dick is going to start to hit these shots. He's too good of a shooter to continue to miss these wide open looks. So I'm not necessarily worried about Grady Dick. I think he is going to get it right eventually. And we know shooter's luck, right? As soon as you get that stroke going, as soon as you get that consistency going, once he gets in that groove, I think it's going to be, all green for Grady Dick. So I'm not worried per se about Dick. I would say I'm more worried about Gary Trent Jr. just because he has been around. He is that important presence from off the bench. So I want to see Gary Trent Jr. have a big game. I'm calling out Gary Trent Jr. on this post-game pod. I want to see Gary Trent Jr. have a big game tomorrow night, get into double digits, get 15, get 16, have a Gary Trent Jr. performance in Philadelphia. And then hopefully Precious Achiuwa, who continues to be out, is able to go. And that's something that I did not mention to this point. Precious Achiuwa did not play tonight. And obviously, the Raptors still able to win without him. Rolet says Grady needs some time in the G League. I mean, I'm not opposed to that. I think the G League would do him favors, especially if he continues to struggle from deep and with a shot. I would agree wholeheartedly. I would say, let him stick it out a bit longer. But, the G League could be an option for Grady Dick if he does continue to struggle with his shooting ability. But like I said, I've actually liked what Grady Dick has done. Just some of the little things that he gives you. And I do think, that shot is eventually going to fall. So I am going to be patient with Grady, but, that could be an option over time. So we will see what happens, but I think we're going to end it here, guys. That is going to conclude the post-game show. The Toronto Raptors get it done at home against the Milwaukee Bucks. They hand the Bucks their second loss of the season. They blow them out. This was a no doubt about them win, and the Raptors are now 2-3, and they will have to get ready for Philadelphia, like I said, in less than 24 hours. So we will see how the team looks tomorrow, but join me tomorrow, guys, after Raptors, Sixers. And yeah, hit a like, subscribe on your way out, tell a friend. Let's get this channel to 1,000 subs. That is it for me. This is Luka signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe. And one last thing because I just saw this now. Pascal has to carry this team to victory. Keep feeding him the ball. That will be the last comment of the night. What I'll say to that is we need more Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes duo. We need more of that duo to play at a high level. I agree. Pascal Siakam's got to hit more of his threes. And if both of those guys can coexist, the Raptors are going to be tough to beat. All right, that is it, everyone. Hit a like, subscribe. I'll catch you all again in the next one.